Decisions made by leaders affect the lives of so many people. Leaders with good virtues are likely to make good decisions and have a positive impact on society. Our aim is to reach leaders who influence others. The Tshwane Executive Ministry and Christian Embassy in Pretoria, as well as Priority Associates in Johannesburg, Durban, Cape Town and Bloemfontein, reach out to business executives, government officials, diplomats, professionals and others in leadership. We want to reach people of influence in the target groups, and they are being trained and equipped to share their faith in the workplace to eventually build a movement of disciples. We reach these people of influence by hosting different activities and events like formal dinners, breakfast outreaches, luncheons and other meetings where the gospel is presented in a non-threatening way. The most important way of reaching out, however, is still through personal contact and building close relationships.
Leaders are people of influence. If we reach them with the gospel, we are able to mobilize them to help fulfill the Great Commission.
I'm a soccer player. Who would have thought that I could use the language of sport to connect with a bunch of girls? But it's happened, and it's happened very quickly.
Athletes Action is the ministry of Campus Crusade for Christ, basically a strategy, and it's basically focusing on sportsmen and women and reaching them with the gospel, training them and equipping them to use their sport, the platform of sport, to share Christ. But also I think our other focus that we bring in during the World Cup and that we want to build on is training the church and how to effectively use sport also to reach their community. We also want to reach the high-profile athletes in our country. We felt that this is a good time to gather the girls and we can really disciple these girls, share the gospel with them. And so one of the outcomes there is then to have continued discipleship with these girls afterwards.
And what was so exciting and uplifting, it just actually happened a few hours ago, is two of our girls gave their lives to the Lord, and these girls just were so excited. After they gave their lives to the Lord, they were just jumping and dancing and so overjoyed. I've never actually helped lead someone to the Lord, and I know it's not me. I know it's totally God and the Holy Spirit working through me, but to be a part of something like that, it's indescribable.
I'd like to thank Crossroad for changing the person who I was into the person who I am now. It has given me confidence in myself and has actually built my self-esteem and has guided me into the right path. Now I can guide others as well.
In our country, a much-needed leader-led strategy, Crossroads, is a national strategy which provides life skills for character development, focusing on schools and prisons.
Just try to make me go to rehab, I won't go.
It is an educational strategy that helps school children preserve health and stability while actively avoiding social crises like pregnancy, HIV/AIDS, addictions and violence.
That's just not there, there's nothing.
We must take decisions for our future, because if we start doing sex now, our future is going to be ruined.
Another example is Parker Appelsamy, a former building contractor. He was sentenced 20 years for the biggest cash heist in the country's history. While in Westville prison, Parker was evangelized and discipled. He in turn has led numerous inmates to Christ while in prison. He became a spiritual care leader and eventually inmate coordinator for the Campus Crusade work in the prison. Since his release from prison, Parker has become actively involved in the local Baptist church. With his pastor, he's become involved in community evangelistic outreaches. He has a special passion for reaching out to prison inmates, and he has dedicated his Saturday mornings to join the Campus Crusade team to assist in the spiritual care of inmates in Westville Prison, Durban, where he served his sentence.
Family Life provide Christ-centered teaching and resources that help build marriages and families. Family Life's dream is to develop godly marriages and families who change the world one home at a time.
To give you an example, I was once sitting with a customer and I mentioned to him that I want to leave early on that particular day because we wanted to attend a Family Life seminar. And when I said to him I wanted to attend a marriage seminar, he looked at me very, very suspicious, and the first thing that he asked me is, he said to me, "Have you got a problem with your marriage?" I asked him, "Why do you take your car for a service?" And I remember he looked at me and said, "I take my car for service to do maintenance and to prevent a breakdown." And I then said, it's for that very same reason why we also attend these courses. It's maintenance on our marriage. It's maintenance to prevent those kind of breakdowns.
Islam is expanding rapidly in Africa, and especially Southern Africa. Since 1994, the presence of Muslims is seen in all areas in cities and countrysides in South Africa. It is not only in faraway countries anymore. There are 1.2 million Muslims in South Africa. How do we handle this great challenge of Islam? CREST aims to reach out to the Muslim community and especially their leaders in South Africa and use the ample opportunities to share the gospel of Jesus Christ.